If I told you that cities are quietly building their own city brains using AI right now, would you want to know what that actually means and what could go wrong? In the next few minutes, we'll break down what's really happening with smart cities in 2026, in plain language, using fresh examples from recent reports and events like the 2026 Smart City Summit and Expo and the latest IDC Smart Cities Awards. What are AI smart cities? Let's start super simple. A smart city is just a city that uses lots of sensors, data, and software to run basic services, things like traffic lights, buses, water pipes, and emergency response, more automatically. In 2026, the new twist is AI. Cities are adding software that doesn't just collect data, but also analyzes it and suggests or even triggers actions in real time. Here are a few real examples from the latest award-winning projects. Some U.S. cities are using AI to monitor flood risks and send early warnings based on rainfall, river levels, and drainage data, instead of relying only on manual forecasts. Transit agencies are using data platforms to optimize bus routes and maintenance schedules so they can react faster to delays or breakdowns. City teams are using digital dashboards to see water usage, leaks, and quality in near real time, instead of waiting for reports and complaints. Think of it like upgrading a city from a set of disconnected spreadsheets to a live control room powered by AI. What's new in 2026? City AI and sovereign AI. Now, what's innovative right now this year? In March 2026, the Smart City Summit and Expo and Net Zero City Expo in Taipei and Kaohsiung showcased what they called a full AI city pavilion. There, companies and city partners showed a 5-layer model for city AI that looks like this, in beginner terms. Computing layer, the heavy-duty hardware, data centers, cloud, and edge devices that actually run the AI models. Model layer, the AI models themselves, trained for things like traffic, energy, or security. Platform layer, the operating system where data from sensors, cameras, and databases gets collected and organized. Application layer, the visible apps, dashboards for city staff, mobile apps for residents, and automated systems for things like traffic lights. Innovation layer, startups, universities, and partners building new tools on top of that stack. The key idea, instead of buying one-off systems like a smart parking app here, a traffic camera system there, cities are trying to build a whole stack they can control and extend over time. You may hear the phrase sovereign AI in this context. In simple terms, that means the city or country wants to own or strongly control where the data sits, how the models are trained, and how the system can be modified, instead of being locked into one vendor's black box. Digital twins, the video game map of a city. Another buzzword you'll hear is digital twin. A digital twin is like a detailed 3D, data-connected copy of a city in software. Imagine a city inside a simulation engine, where every building, road, and pipe is linked to real data. Traffic sensors, weather, energy use, and planners can test new bus lanes, simulate a heat wave, or model flooding from a big storm before they commit to construction. Recent articles and conference programs show that digital twins are now moving from concept to practice in 2026, especially for mobility planning, climate resilience, and infrastructure investment decisions. You can think of it like SimCity, but fed by live data and used by actual city engineers. How cities are using this in real projects. Based on the latest 2026 materials, a global awards program highlights cities using AI for day-to-day operations like emergency response, climate-focused budgeting, and water management. This is not just pilot projects anymore. Smart Cities Connect Spring 2026 feature sessions on multi-layer AI safety stacks that combine edge devices, GPU servers, AI video analytics, and orchestration tools to watch over public spaces in real time. The Smart City Summit and Expo X Net Zero City Expo 2026 organize City Vision in Action, workshops where city officials and companies sit down and work through specific problems, like congestion or emissions, using these platforms. So the pattern is, awards, conferences, and vendors are all pointing in the same direction, toward integrated, AI-enabled, always-on city systems. Honest pros, what's potentially useful? Let's talk about the upside in plain terms. Potential advantages cities are aiming for. Faster response. If sensors detect a pipe leak or a flash flood, AI systems can flag it and route teams faster than manual processes. Better use of money. Digital twins and analytics can help test scenarios before spending billions on new roads, tunnels, or rail. Missteps are costly. Simulation can reduce guesswork. Smarter infrastructure. traffic lights that adapt to actual flows, streetlights that dim when nobody's around, and buildings that adjust energy use can all reduce waste. More joined-up planning. When transport, housing, climate, and public safety data sit on a shared platform, different departments can, in theory, coordinate more effectively. These points come from real 2026 project descriptions and roadmaps shared at events and in reports, not from speculation. Honest cons and limitations. Now, the limitations and risks, also based on what's actually being discussed in these sources. Data and privacy questions. Many of the systems rely on large numbers of sensors and, in some cases, video analytics in public spaces. Conference materials and vendor docs show a lot of focus on technical capability, but much less detail, publicly, on how data is governed, anonymized, or audited. Vendor lock-in and control. When a city builds on one big platform, switching later can be expensive and complex. The whole push for sovereign AI is, in part, a response to that risk. Governments want to avoid losing control of critical systems to single vendors. Complexity and cost. Building a 5-layer AI city stack, plus digital twins, is technically and financially demanding. Smaller cities or those with tight budgets may struggle to implement or maintain these systems, even if the tech exists. Bias and reliability of AI. If AI is used for things like predicting crime hotspots, planning police patrols, or prioritizing infrastructure investments, any bias in the data or the model can translate into biased decisions. While the 2026 sources highlight impressive capabilities, they do not provide much detailed public information on independent audits or long-term impact evaluations. These downsides aren't doom talk, they're simply the gaps and challenges visible when you read the same 2026 sources closely. Why it matters right now. So why should beginners or everyday city residents care about this now, not 5 years from now? First, timing. March 2026 is a cluster point. We've got the IDC Smart Cities Awards report on March 19, 2026, the Smart Cities Connect Spring Conference March 10 to 12, 2026, and the Smart City Summit and Expo X Net Zero City Expo March 17 to 21, 2026. These are all explicitly about moving from vision to full deployment. Second, scale up. The message across these events and reports is, we're done piloting, we're scaling. That means the systems described, AI traffic control, digital twin planning, sovereign AI platforms, could shape how your city runs over the next decade. Third, governance. Decisions made in 2026 about which platforms to choose, how data is handled, and how open the systems are will be very hard to unwind later. In short, this year is less about cool demos and more about long-term commitments. If you want to check the originals yourself, here are some of the main recent sources behind what we just covered. These provide the concrete dates, case studies, and architectures I've described. Let's end with a real question for you. If your city announced it was rolling out a full city AI platform, linking traffic, cameras, water, and energy into one system, what would you want to see in writing before you support it? Strong privacy rules, public dashboards, independent audits, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments what you would ask your city to guarantee before plugging everything into an AI-powered control room.